This is the Mom Curious podcast, where we say the quiet part out loud about womanhood, motherhood, and everything in between.
And I still have a couple of the vials.
Shut up!
No, you shut up. I kept them, so
You're just hoarding sperm?
No.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
That was a joke. 30, like my mid-30s, when like my body started changing and stuff after shitting out 3 kids.
Stop taking advice from people on the internet, like myself included.
And I didn't realize how heavy that would be, and that loving my children would not be enough to make me not a basket case.
And that gave me the freedom to do something for myself.
And it's an adventure that is not just all doom and gloom.
You know better, and if you didn't, now you know better. I think of this episode as the Jetsons meets the Flintstones. Do you remember that
Of
episode?
course. Oh
I
my
did.
gosh.
I did sort of feel that way about another podcaster. Her name is Lindsay Simsick, and she actually records here.
Oh, yeah, this is gorgeous.
Almost 30, but more so, even more so with you, because Kanika Chadda Gupta is here, and she is the host and creator of That's So Mom Sense, a really uplifting, empowering, educational, awesome podcast geared towards moms. Yeah. And I've had such a joy getting to know you, listening to the podcast, and also your other interviews. So it's just an honor to hang with you. I feel like we have such Jetson Flintstone vibes because we're so different, but also like speaking to the same gal for the most part.
Yeah.
And so that really gets me excited. So welcome and thank you so much. Thank you for the gift. Guys, if you ever come on a podcast, like we're going to get some inside scoops from you. But as a guest, wow, you came in with a gift and a note that just really grounded me. Aww. I'm going to try and take that moving forward. And that was your first bit of advice today, I guess.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Danielle. I really appreciate you giving me this time. And we spoke about how these podcast episodes are like a "This Is Your Life." So I'm grateful for the catharsis that you're going to provide me. And this is really amazing to just connect with you on this level.
Yeah, thank you so much. I wanted to just set the stage for anyone who doesn't know you yet. Although you were a CNN anchor, you have this podcast that has reached so many people. But it's possible that, we're talking to someone who doesn't know you. Sometimes I like to ask, especially people who are public figures, who are you today? Ooh. Because I know that you're a mom of 3, including twins, which is an important note.
Yes.
They're only a year apart.
Yes. Irish
so I bow
triplets.
to you.
Yeah,
Holy
thank you.
cow.
Thank you.
And there's a person behind the public figure, behind the space holder. There's a daughter, there's a wife, who are you today?
Oh, wow. I am a soulful, compassionate, deep feeler. I'm an empath to my core. And it's amazing to see the evolution that young Kanika has had, because I used to be a little scared of my feelings and, how I just kind of relied on connecting with people to feel security and purpose. And now I'm channeling that in the best way possible. And I feel like I'm actually doing my dharma, which is my life calling.
What is your dharma?
It's to connect with people and tell their stories and allow myself to heal in the process and invite others to join me.
Ditto.
Yeah. It's the only way I know now, and it's, of course, we have tools. There's therapy, there's having your village, there's having your people and those in your kitchen cabinet you can call. But I think there's something so magical about sitting across a complete stranger and like going the distance, getting deep, talking about moments in life that have shaped you, or choices where you were at a crossroads and you're relating to each other, and then the hour's over and that was that. But these conversations stay with me, and I've been doing this a long time. My CNN days, that was a while ago. I've been in media, from television to new media, for 20 years. And I remember every interview. I remember every time I had to go out in the field and do some live shot. I have a photographic memory. So like I can go back in time, like back to like third grade if I want, or 22, and to take all of these along with me through every season of life, that's what's really carried me.
It's sort of amazing that you say you have this 1 hour, because I feel like in these moments, what's cool about media, sort of magical, they call it like movie magic, is that the hour is forever.
Yeah.
Sometimes it stays with you forever because you have a photographic memory or because you're an empath.
Right.
But also just like logistically, like on a like factual level.
Yeah.
I think that's why you and I both gravitate towards these podcast sort of conversations.
True.
I have a background in live theater, and there's something very special about the ephemeral nature of theater, of speaking, of that. And these moments, these hours are forever. You were just talking about how you listened to an episode with me and Dr. Tracy that was months ago.
Oh, wow.
But it lives right now,
right
in the present moment.
Yes, and for anyone who needs it, they can just grab a hold. I love how you got into like the mother-in-law bond. It was great. It resonated.
Well, you live with your mom.
Yes.
And you're not your mom, your mother-in-law.
Yes. I live with my in-laws now, and there's 7 of us in the house.
Yeah.
And it's kind of amazing. All credit goes to my husband, Sunil, who is a very filial son. He's the middle of 3 sons, and when we were dating, he said, I love you, like you're my person. I just want you to know that when it's time, and as my parents get older, one obligation and almost like a duty and privilege,
his dharma.
His dharma that I'm taking on is that I'd love for them to live with us and be around our kids all day. And at that time, in my 20s, I was like, yeah, sure. I love, auntie. We just call them auntie and uncle when they're older.
Yeah.
When you just first meet them. And then now that we're a family, it's a lot. There's challenges. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. And there's this old world traditionalism melded with like this modern day progressive, viewpoints that we have. So there's all of that. But I see the light. I think that having a multi-generational setup is exactly the village that we wanted.
I mean, that's the real
right?
village. I mean, I think what we're doing for our community is in, bringing together women and telling their stories is, our modern sort of way of cobbling together a village and encouraging our listener. I think you say it so many times in your show, and as do I. It's like, you got to find your people. We can't do this alone. Weren't built to do this alone. But just something to let the audience in on. This is a very normal practice in Indian culture.
Right.
My friend Anurag lives with his parents, and Rima and their children. I mean, it's very normal and commonplace, and also probably was normal for all of us. It's just that the South Asian community has upheld it even in the diaspora.
Yes.
In New Jersey.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And many families are returning to it. It's not always the case, but I feel like, for those who are like, oh no, we're doing this, it's we're all gonna just coexist under one roof, like that takes a volition.
Yeah, and a commitment to your lineage, your culture, your tradition, your language, your food.
100%.
That I think not everyone can relate to, but I certainly can as a first generation American. I mean,
Yeah.
I beg my mom to move in with us. I think it's really
That's awesome.
not without its challenges, obviously, but I would want that for my children. I would want that for her. I would want that. But I think we have that in common also, by the way.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Like your first language was not English, even though you're like a speaker, a soon-to-be author.
Yes, thank you.
A podcast. I mean, words are your trade, but what was your first language?
You know, it was Hindi. And I actually spoke 5 languages before the age of 2. I know that sounds like blasphemous, like really. But I was a very chatty, like toddler.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. Literally
Still a
no
chatty
one.
Kathy.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. I would get straight A's, but like every single teacher was like, they would call me Kanika, and I never corrected them. Kanika, that's enough.
Wait, why would they call you Kanika?
Talking in the back of the class. That's another story. You know, growing up, you know, my parents immigrated to the States when I was like 2.5. I went to daycare and then kindergarten, and we were taught to never challenge authority and your elders. So, you know,
aunties.
yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so if my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Duckworth, said, Kanika, are you here? It's like, sounds like my name, yes.
Wow.
And I never corrected it. And throughout high school, I have like 2 kind of phases. So anyone who knew me before college still calls me Kanika.
No.
They just can't
It's
get
not her
out of
name,
it.
guys.
I know. And then college onwards, I moved to Boston from Maryland and was like, that's it. I'm not mispronouncing my name anymore. It's Kanika. And so anyone who knows me after that.
Do you want to hear a cultural difference between us? When I moved from Manhattan to Long Island when I was 7, my parents are Israeli, and my name is Daniella, right? So
Daniella.
that's Daniella. Yeah. But Daniella is how I say my own name. You know, I say before any audition, it's Daniella Rabbani.
Yeah.
5'2", even though I'm going to tell you right now I'm only 5 feet. But
Okay,
no one needs to know. I had a manager who once put that on my resume, and now now I just slate as I'm 5'2".
Yes,
Anyway,
leave
that
it.
said, when we moved, the kids would call me Daniella. Daniella. And my parents would not let it go. They're like, that
sure.
is not your name. It was like
They're butchering it.
Yeah, it was so the opposite of like, well, just let it go. It was like, no. But everyone's got their thing, you know. Everyone's got their thing. I don't think Kanika is a hard name to pronounce, but I imagine that might have felt like they don't get me.
Yeah, big time. And you know, I was rule following, you know, nerdy Indian kid. So I did feel like I actually have so many layers. There's so much charisma and humor there. You guys don't even know, but that all came out later.
Because you were just like head down, gotta work, immigrant family.
Yeah,
exactly.
It just, it didn't really manifest till, I want to say, college.
Where did you go?
Yeah, BU.
Oh, my sister went to BU. It's a great school.
Wow, look at that connection.
So beautiful.
That's very
We were talking
profound.
earlier, obviously my audience knows well about my sister Ariana, and we were talking earlier that you're 7 years older than your sister. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah, just like she was 7 years older than me. That's your baby.
Yes.
Monica.
Yeah, Monica. Yeah.
Monica and Kanika.
If you're listening, hi Monu.
Hi, Monu. Monica was born in Maryland, and you were born in Bombay.
Yes.
And I have to imagine.
Mumbai to Maryland. Yep.
I have to imagine that like that synergy of cultures is something that you're constantly sort of negotiating in your home and in your life.
Yeah, I definitely was more, for Indians, we say desi, like ethnic. So I was definitely more of the desi sister. And I felt like India was my second home. So we would actually visit my grandmother, who was widowed pretty young. She was in her 50s and she lived till her 80s.
Wow.
And we would visit her every year in Bombay. And, you know, I loved it. You know, you could just have me again as like a little kid, 13, 14, like take a rickshaw by myself, get to the movie theater, get to the mall. Like I was good. And you had to use like slang Hindi sometimes to get around, but I could hang.
We had Hita Palapu on the show also, and she would say that she also would spend summers in India, and like she would be out in the morning and back late at night, and that the way of raising children is so different than it is here.
Totally. I think because maybe we just weren't so concerned about the safety and risks back then too. Now we are so much more measured, and we have enough information to like know. We basically want to tag our kids and be like, where are you all the time?
We literally tag them.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was not the case back then. It was just be home before dark. But there was that many people that were looking out for you. So, you know, if you are, you know, going to the bazaar by yourself or whatever, it's like there's that many aunties and uncles that are like, like go from this side, or like you're going the wrong way, or, you know, so there's like people looking out.
Yeah.
That, parents didn't have to worry.
Yeah. Man, those were the days. Mm-hmm. Is it still that way in India?
You know, I haven't been in a decade.
What?
I know. I feel like motherhood, when you're living under a rock, I didn't travel as much, and I had the twins and then the younger one. And
Who
then,
was a surprise?
Yes, yeah. So
I'm sort of
I'll take it
relieved to
back.
know that.
Oh my gosh.
There's like a relief that I'm like, thank God she didn't mean to. Who would sign up?
Yeah, it's like, let's put my body through the ringer. Let's go. Let's do C-sections, like cut me open. I joke with them because I've shown them my C-section scar. And I'm like,
just to scar them a little, just so that they know.
like, see this line?
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah. And I'll say how it's like, it's essentially like how magicians used to saw their assistants now.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I went through that with the twins and then the younger one. No, he was a very pleasant surprise. I was still nursing, and we did not expect it at all. In fact, I was at a mommy like workout challenge class.
Great. Love that for you.
Shout out to BFF, Be Fit Forever. That was
Great.
in New Jersey. And I was like, I need to lose all this like twin weight, you know, and I couldn't do some of the leg raises that like, you know, actually target the core. And my instructor, Dookie, was like, "You're not pregnant, are you?" And it's like, oh my gosh, I should go check, you know, and it takes one time. That's all I'm going to say about that. It takes one time.
It would have
Nobody
to.
was getting frisky.
Wait,
all the time.
Hold on. You were 3 months postpartum? No,
I was, what is it? 9 months along.
you weren't 3 months pregnant after having twins, and then you got pregnant again.
So it was actually at the 9-month mark that,
Do you hate this reaction that like another mother would be like, fuck?
Yeah, it's like, you are so reckless. But I
Not
have to
reckless,
say,
not just.
who
on earth
takes
would-
one time?
I swear.
Because I was like leaking and, you know, just not.
I have to tell you
changing.
that men don't care.
Yeah, I know.
They literally are like, that's great. We should hang out sometime.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They
Like,
actually, I mean,
stained T-shirts, I'm into those. It's nice.
yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of a change of pace. Let's go. You're usually so buttoned up, Kanika.
I know. Maybe that was part of it. It's like, okay.
All right.
Like, no F's given now. Like, yeah. But
That was the beginning of no F's given?
Yeah. Well, at that phase, but it was very isolating too, you know? And then, so he was a total surprise. I was at a workout class, and the instructor said, like, you know, "You're not pregnant, are you?" Because there was like one core exercise I couldn't do. And that's what tipped it off. And I was like, oh my God, I really am. But he completes our family. So we have Krish and Suhana, our boy-girl twins, and Shrey.
So beautiful. Do twins run in your family?
You know, they do on my husband's side. But
that's all it takes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you need, really.
Just all like, it's it's our own little journey, but I had done Clomid and some shots, and I feel like I was super, super fertile, that my endocrinologist was like, I did not see this coming. But 2 eggs released at the same time.
Fraternal?
Yeah, boy and girl is always.
Oh.
Yeah. I know, people always ask that.
Oh
They're
my
like,
God.
not identical. I'm like,
Hold
they don't have
on,
the same
I'm
parts.
I do feel like, like not the same parts. I
But
do
they
feel
do.
like I
One
should
does
know
look like
more.
the same with long hair.
But I'm not like mom expert. I'm mom curious. Like
Right,
sometimes I
right.
genuinely don't know. Actually, in my research, I found out that you had an ectopic pregnancy, and I genuinely don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, I'll
After
break it down for
hundreds of
you.
interviews, we've never really discussed it. So maybe
yes. And I just want to tell anyone who's going through one now or who has been through one, like I deeply, deeply feel for you, because it was just as harrowing for me when I first found out. Like, we knew once we'd already met with an endocrinologist and everything, what a chemical pregnancy was or a miscarriage. And it's like, okay, these are going to happen as we're in the trying phase. And, we were trying for like 4 years. And and finally had them, the twins, like total fluke, because I didn't do IVF or anything. It was just, like,
it was just
the,
when they
the body
wanted to
was
come
like,
in.
okay, we're ready. We're like really revved up and ready. But yeah,
We're like really, really ready.
Yeah.
We're ready 9 months after they're born. We're so ready for this.
exactly, yes.
Kanika wanted to be a mom.
Be careful
from,
what you wish for.
from the get. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did.
We both had the same thought at the same
Yes,
exact time.
yes,
Yeah, you really
yeah.
wanted that, and the universe delivered.
Yes, exactly.
You actually are the one who delivered.
Yeah,
Literally.
I know. Yeah,
you did that.
Yeah, the universe was like, I'm delivering, but you're delivering.
Yeah, exactly. If you're listening to Mom Curious, I know that you have a particular interest in the arts, in culture, in exciting hangs that are IRL. And I know that you could use a break after the summer, quote unquote, break. So I want to invite you to a really exciting film festival that's happening on Fire Island after the kids have left and the families have departed. And it's happening September 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's going to be an incredible hang for tastemakers, industry leaders, of course, filmmakers. And I want you to be there. I'll be there too, so I'll tell you a little bit more about it. The Grove and Pines Film Festival is a love letter to Fire Island, New York. At the film festival, there will be exclusive screenings, top-tier entertainment, exciting parties, merch, secret lounges, and so much more. It's a celebration of authentic queer storytelling. It's happening September 18th, 19th, and 20th. The tickets are on sale now at groveandpinesfilmfestival.com. You wouldn't want to miss the inaugural year of a history-making festival. Grove and Pines Film Festival is a proud nonprofit 501c3 who are offering a $5,000 grant to LGBTQ filmmakers. And we can't wait to see you. So check out GAPFF.com for more details. Okay, so we're going to rewind back to before the twins. You had the ectopic?
So the ectopic happened when I did get a positive pregnancy test. And I just felt like in my gut, something's up with this. This doesn't feel normal. I was feeling referral pains in my left shoulder. And they were like these like sharp like spasms. And so I called my friend Juhi. I'm going to give her a shout out, Juhi Shukla. She is an OB and she's amazing. And at that time, she was doing her rotations. And I was like, she's going to know what's going on, And she said, tell me your HCG levels. They were really low. Like they should have been in the hundreds, and it was like 16, 32, like just, categorically low.
Should we say that the
HCG is the hormone for pregnancy.
Yeah.
And
if you're being monitored by a fertility clinic, they'll be able to take those tests.
Yes,
for you,
exactly. And well, that's actually when you pee on a stick.
Okay.
So
anyone
OB,
can be.
Can tell you what that is, and that just indicates that the pregnancy hormone is present. And so that was really low. And And then she told me in the middle of the night, I called her when she was actually on her like graveyard shift. And she was like, no, you can call me. I'm cool. I don't have anything going on. And I told her the levels. I told her what I was feeling. And she said, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but I think you're having an ectopic pregnancy. Oh. And I said, what is that? And I'm like, looking up Wikipedia, like a speaker and like scrolling on my phone. And she said, well, it's when the egg implants in one of your fallopian tubes. And it's growing in there. And it can cause the tube to rupture, and it's fatal for the mother. And it's actually not a viable pregnancy. The child cannot be extracted from there. It will not grow. So
well, why was your shoulder hurting?
Yes, good question. So the reason for that is we have nerve endings that connect from our uterus to our left shoulder, much like when you are experiencing a cardiac arrest, it's connected to your heart. So those referral pains were in my left side, and it was because my uterus was empty. And it was like a weird kind of bleeding of the fallopian tubes. And so she said you need to get an ultrasound like stat, because we need to just double check, like, is the uterus empty? Is it in the tube? Like, you need to get it out, like surgically removed if it's too far along, or there's ways to eradicate that.
And is the egg fertilized?
Yeah, it's fertilized.
It's an embryo?
Yes, and it's implanted.
It's growing?
Yep, and instead of the uterine wall where it's supposed to be, it's in the tube. It's like it didn't make it all the way down.
And it's doing its best to like just do its thing.
Yeah, and it's growing, but then it's like it's inside this like little, small crevice, and it's not gonna grow. There's no way that it's viable.
How far along were you?
So it was like 6 weeks, and too soon to do an ultrasound. I think that is, if I'm not mistaken, around the 12-week mark. And so I told this doctor, who had such shit bedside manner. She's not
your
who
friend.
I ended up with. Yeah, no. When we moved to New Jersey, I got all new clinicians, and they're amazing. So shout out to Dr. Jacqueline Saida and Shafali Shastri. But I won't mention who treated me in New York City before that. But she said, it's too soon to do an ultrasound. And I was like, I need an ultrasound because I think I'm having an ectopic. And like, I was poo-pooed all around the clinic from the RNs and the phlebotomists and like everybody. And I was like, I need this. I know what's going on.
And I could die.
Yes.
And I'm in pain.
Exactly. And they were like, okay, fine. We can squeeze you in. They probably didn't want me to go batshit crazy. So they were like, whatever, just go get her seen. And she did the sonogram, and lo and behold, my uterus was empty. And she was like, oh my gosh, you are going to have to go to high res, and it is in one of your tubes. So
what did they have to do to get it out?
I had to take several rounds of methotrexate, which is a cancer drug.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was, it basically gets expelled. And there's nothing that like came out of me that it's like, oh my God, I can see like, an eyeball, or no, it's not like that.
That does happen
yes.
with some miscarriages if it's further along.
Yes, yeah. It was too soon. It was just a lot of like...
chunky.
Yeah, chunky blood and tissue and all of that.
So it forced a miscarriage, essentially.
Yeah, and then they did evaluations afterwards, made sure that the scar tissue that's there healed over time, because thankfully I didn't have to go in for surgery. Wow. That's way more serious. And, we nipped that in the bud and got to do it through the methotrexate shots. But thanks to Juhi, and I like to say my mom sense, my gut instinct, I'm still here today.
Wow. That's when is that around the time where you coined the term mom sense?
Oh.
Or because you refer to your mom sense as your like gut instinct, like that thing that literally kept you alive, but that dawned on you later on?
Yes. That was after I had my third. And, it was after I was done like pumping, and I took this hot shower. There's just something so therapeutic about like a scalding
hot shower. Yeah.
And then it came to me, and because I was thinking of, I want to launch a podcast. I want it to be for moms. I want us to feel like there's someone that's talking to them and having the conversations they want to hear, even if they can't leave their house, because that was happening for me.
Because they can't leave their house for a good long time.
And it's like you have, a conversation in your earbuds where you're like laughing out loud and you're feeling like you're included and you're part of it.
And you are, by the way,
yes,
you are.
You are,
yeah.
Yes. So if you're in the city walking around, if you're in your minivan, or if you're at home with a stained T-shirt on, like you're in this conversation right now.
Yeah, this is for you. This is literally for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when it came to me, and I thought like, moms, something like, I want it to be mom sense, nonsense, and that was it. I was like, mom sense.
How long ago was this?
Sense. This was 2019 is when I launched, so shortly before that.
2019.
Yeah.
This was before the pandemic.
Yes.
Oh, I actually didn't realize that.
I jumped on the podcast train before, because it was just so, like, Shrey was born in 2018. So it was so, like, early on, right after I had him, that I was like, I need to have conversations. I need to learn. I need to feel part of something bigger. And
you had a chance to take all of your skills as an anchor.
Yeah.
You worked in another really fancy place. It's escaping me. Where else besides CNN? Was it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. CNN and ZTV.
ZTV.
Yes, I was the head of programming for all of the Americas, so the U.S. and Canada, and that was great. That was much more of a managerial and production role, and I got to just decide like what pilots we were considering and what made it on air. So that was cool.
But now you're deciding, like, this is the pilot.
Yes.
This is, it's a go.
Yeah, this is the headline. This is the guest. This is the topic.
This is also your, like, on your timeline. Like, you can, and I feel the same way. I didn't realize what I was doing while I was doing it. I mean, much of this was like a passion project outside of my acting career and singing and performing.
Yeah.
But it really makes a lot more sense.
Yes. Yes.
It makes mom sense. It makes mom sense.
It does. And, I think of the MasterCard commercial. Like, at times we want to get these feathers in our cap, and we are always trying to, like, tick things off. Like, I have the fancy cush corporate job, and I have, the family, and I have the New York City apartment, or whatever it is. There is nothing like having flexibility and freedom in your career, in my opinion. For me, that's what's working, and so it is priceless. I would take podcasting with motherhood. One day I'm, interviewing Kelly Rowland, and then the next I'm at Costco, and nobody needs to know.
Yeah.
And it's great, and I love that this is my schedule in my life now.
But what was a moment where you were like, oh, this really is my dharma? Like, I actually am living it, and I'm seeing it, and I'm feeling it right now.
Yes. It's a very recent interview that I did with Jenny Garth. It was at Reese Witherspoon's conference for Hello Sunshine called Shine Away. And the producers hand-selected me for this fireside chat on the main stage. They said, we want you and a mom-driven conversation with Jenny Garth and Jen Hatmaker. And they both are amazing. I love you guys. I call them my Didis. So in Hindi, the way we say older sister is Didi.
Yeah.
And I love me some big sister energy. It's like, not only am I embodying that in my own life, but like Ariana, you seek it too. I love meeting women who are 10 to 15 years older than me that can be like, let me tell you how it's done. Like, take a seat. Like,
and also you're amazing, and I'm listening to you, and I want to see you thrive. And Jenny Garth was on 90210, so there's also that.
Yes. And I'm interviewing her again at Mom 2.0 in Austin. And I think that was an interview that stayed with me because I wasn't the cool girl in high school. I had bushy eyebrows and like, again, was this very reticent, do-gooder Indian girl. And I watched 90210 secretly in the basement until my parents were like, "What is this?"
I also, by the way, watched it in the basement.
Yeah, it wasn't
think my
it
parents would
wasn't
be
something that I could have everybody see that I was watching, because it's like, making out in bikinis and
Melrose Place.
Yeah.
was
Oh my
really
God.
salacious.
That
was
totally. I would turn it off
definitely
after that. I'm like,
basement material.
yes, yeah, exactly. Even like Dawson's, I could get away with, and Friends. But yeah, there were some shows that you're like, okay, I gotta be alone for this and not let mommy and papa see.
But you were the cool girl. I mean, they hand selected
and
you.
and now it's like I've come full circle. I'm in my 40s and like I'm cool and
smart, cool and smart and beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
when
didn't
I
peak in high school, and that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, when I messaged you, I said I have seen you a million times at Neha's events. By the way, shout out to Neha Roosh,
Yes,
author
we
of the
love you,
Power
Neha.
Pause, the best. And I was nervous to say hello to you because you're the cool girl to me.
Oh my God. I'm such a dork. Are you kidding?
Yeah, but I also think that being smart is cool. So
Yeah.
so you got it all, baby.
Thank you.
So that was a
I
moment
love
where
you
you're
for
like,
that.
I'm really living my dharma, and I
Yes.
feel it, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm gonna keep going.
Yes, I'm meant to be in this room, and I don't need to cower at the back. And like I'm owning this now.
So now you're mentoring others to step into those shoes if they also feel called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I am launching a course called In Moderation because I love the puns.
Yeah, we do.
They're so fun. They're punny.
They're good. I mean, this is a person who speaks 5 languages.
Yeah. Yes. And you do too, right? You speak
I speak
several?
3,
Yeah.
but there's a song in Yiddish called "A kind is dos a goldene," which means that this is a golden child, and the song is like a running joke of like how this child is speaking to one person in Russian and one person in Polish and one person in Yiddish and one and learning Hebrew and blah blah blah, and then he moves to America and he's speaking in English, and so when you say that like people don't speak so many languages, it's like it depends where you come from.
Yes. Yes.
You're very lucky, and like your mastery of language it's working out.
Thank
it's working
you.
out very
Thank
well
you.
for all of us.
I lost so many of the early, Indian dialects that I knew, but yeah, I have such respect,
But it's in there in your
in there.
brain. I
Totally.
think there's a poetry. I really do. I've said this so many times before, but there's a real poetry to to living in 2 worlds.
Yes.
And to seeing the world through like that's light, but it's also or, and just to know that like to a whole people.
Right.
We see and say things differently. We experience things differently. And I think that also probably translates to why we both are empaths, why we platform other people with wildly different experiences from us, because I know the joy of experiencing the world like this like multifaceted diamond that it is. It's like we're one thing with so many different faces.
Totally.
And I think being bilingual and trilingual and whatever else is like an embodied experience of that.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. But yeah, In Moderation came from me, of course, being on stage and really honing my craft and doing interviews all the time. It's been, 20 years of a media career, almost 10 years of the podcast. So just thousands of interviews when you add it all up. And now that everyone has a mic, I like think of Nas like all I need is one mic. Some people need to up level a little bit. I think you shouldn't take this privilege and do what you want with it. You are someone who follows this credo. You come researched, like anecdotes, about my family dynamic. Like
I love your family dynamic.
Yeah. So you came to the room knowing things about me, and I feel like a lot of podcasters and media personalities these days just want to wing it, have the banter, and they don't come researched like a journalist would. So I teach that. I teach you how to script, wordsmith, read the room, lead a panel, find the through line, use empathy and EQ to bring your guest at ease. And these are all like I don't want to keep them as trade secrets. Everyone can do it. And if you're naturally like this, like, you know, I was out on the field, plus in studio, plus the, you know, how I built a podcast out of my home from scratch. Like, I've done all of that. And I'm naturally curious about people. You can still learn to do these things, because now I feel like, you know, there's reality stars and founders and those who come from a myriad of industries that might not be as curious about people and their life stories. So I'll help you get there.
Why do you think podcasting is an important skill to hone?
You know, I think that it's the curiosity and the ability to make true connection. And isn't that what humanity is all about?
For me.
Yeah.
But I also think, by the way,
that's how the world runs.
People in business are enjoying podcasting for a whole other because it's a business.
Yeah.
Which is also,
yes, that's
everyone's
true.
got to make a buck.
Yeah, that's so true. But I think that if you lead with EQ and there's something likable about you as a host, that's your hook. Now people are like, I want to follow this person. Like, I'm on their journey, like subscribing. I want the updates. Like, get me the Substack. But if you don't have that je ne sais quoi, like, your audience is not going to grow over time, and your conversations will fall flat. So yeah, there's a skill set.
When is it coming out?
In April.
Okay, great.
April 2026.
Okay. I'm in.
You have an all access pass.
Yay!
And you tell me what you think. I think, you know, what's a little nerve-wracking for me is, like, this is my first course. It's 10 lessons. There's printables. There's a live element where I'll do, you know, 4 weeks of a live cohort. I am not a course builder by trade. I'm a journalist, you know. But I do think that, you know, as a community builder, it behooves me to, like, not do this. So that's why I am. I'm like, okay, let me go there. But I'd love all your inputs and feedback, because I want this to be fruitful for anyone who takes it, who has the microphone, who's already on stages, that's like, oh, wow, I never thought I could, like, you know, go there and really amaze the crowd in this way. And it's very specific, because I'm not teaching you public speaking. This is not like you about to give a TED Talk. This is you moderating. Now you're with someone else. So not only are you shining a light on them, as you're doing so beautifully right now, so beautifully, you're shining a light on your guest, but you're also infusing your intel and your perspective. And there's a way to do that with finesse.
I will say that, first of all, I'm really excited because for the first time I saw you, you were like, if you ever want to learn about podcasting, come hit me up. And I'm like, I want to learn from you.
But you're doing a great job already. Like,
thank you very much. Yeah. But we could always do better.
Yes,
and I want to learn from you. But also, I do think it's important for women to tell their stories.
Yes.
It's important for us to speak our truth. It's important for us to get used to being seen, perceived, misunderstood, and understood.
Right.
I think we have inherited, I mean, I think about your mom, who had the wherewithal to be like, we're moving to America. Yeah. And our daughter Kanika is going to be a literal star. And, you know, like, we stand on the shoulder of giants. Yes. And we're so privileged. I mean, really, the fact that I have a mic in front of me. I mean, after all that my family has been through
from Holocaust survivors,
to be on this stage with you, I want to take that privilege and offer the mic to others. I think it's, as you said in the very beginning of this conversation, that your dharma is not just to heal others through storytelling, but to heal yourself.
Yeah,
it is a healing modality, just to speak your own truth.
Right. Absolutely. And we all collectively grow and transform from that, which is amazing. I love this medium so much.
Together. We get to do that together.
Yeah.
The Flintstones meet the Jetsons. Maybe the Jetsons will meet the Flintstones, and we'll continue this conversation on this So nonsense. But that's our time for today. I could talk to you forever and ever.
I know.
Thanks
We
for being a
will.
big
become
sister of
phone-
sorts in
phone
this
buddies.
industry and for holding space for women. Thank you so much. I think it's really holy work that you're doing, and
Thank you.
I can't wait for April so that I could learn the deep dive on all 10 lessons. I'll do the homework. I'll be a good student.
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. You're front of the class energy.
Oh, thanks. Where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active, at Kanika Chadda Gupta. My website is that'stotalmomsense.com, and that's my podcast. We release episodes every Thursday, and then In Moderation is going to be on the website too.
I can't wait. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Daniella, and thank you, Ariana, for being with us today. This was the big sister we needed.
Thank you. Thanks for being here, guys. See you next week.
This has been a Hoff Studios production, executive producer Laura Lucetti. I'm your host and creator, Daniella Rabbani. Come find me at Daniella Rabbani. My DMs are open and I want to hear everything. Also, if you like the show, please send it to a friend and leave a review, because we are in this together.